Hello everyone, how did you get on finding about information out about ants? There was lots of information there to see, wasn't there? So here's my picture of my ant. Can you see that? And I found out that an ant has 3 parts to its body. It's got its head, its thorax and its abdomen. Abdomen is another word for tummy, so he's got his stomach, his tummy in there. And he's got 6 legs that have got little claws at the end of them to help them grip things and carry things. And then on his head, he's got 2 antennae, which he uses for taste, touch, smell, and there was one other one, can you remember? Hear. He uses it for hearing as well, doesn't he? And he's also got 2 mouths. He's got like what look like claws at the very front. That's his front jaw, and he uses that to grip the food that he's going to eat. And then he's got his back mouth, which he uses to eat the food. What sort of foods do they like? Did you find that out? They like sweet foods, don't they? So that's why when you drop something on the ground, maybe an ice lolly or a lollipop or even some sweets, what do you see straight away? The ants, they're all clambering for that sweetness, aren't they? You could use that as an experiment. You could put something sweet on the ground and you could put something sour on the ground, like a slice of lemon or something, or a slice of orange because it's citrus. See what happens. Where do the ants go? Do they go to the sweet thing that you've put on the ground, or do they go to the sour thing that you've put on the ground? There's a good experiment for you to try. What else did we find out about our ants? They're called insects, and that's because they have got the 3 body parts and the 6 legs. If they don't have 6 legs, they're not an insect, they're a mini beast. And what else did we find out about them? That's right, they live under the ground. On the top there's usually an ant hill or a little mound that we call an ant hill, but they live under the ground, so they go down. And did you see all those tunnels and rooms that they had created underneath in their ant hill? And can you remember what they live in? When there's lots and lots and lots of them that all live together, what do we call that? That's right, it was called a colony. So ants are not insects that like to live alone. They like to live with lots and lots of others. So they all live together and we call that a colony. So a colony of ants. Shall we say that? Colony. Fantastic. And did you remember what they said about that colony? That there's always one queen in that colony, and she's the biggest ant of all, and she lays all the eggs. And then the other ants, the worker ants, they look after all the eggs and the baby ants and make sure that they grow and eat properly, so they find the food. So it's very busy, isn't it? Having that big family, and you've got the one queen, and then you've got all those worker ants doing all the work. I hope you managed to find out some good things about ants too. I bet you did. I look forward to seeing what you found out on Evidence Me. Now, what does the word ant start with? Can you think of the sound that you can hear when you say the word ant? Ant. That's right, it starts with the sound ah. Can you say that for me? Ah, ah, ah. Fantastic. Now this is what it looks like when it's written down. So this is the capital, this is the letter name, A. Can you say that for me? A. And it makes the sound ah, ah. Fantastic. Now, I thought we'd do this one because I know some of you have got a name with this at the beginning. So when we do our A, we start at the top. Now remember, very, very important that when we write our letters, we always start our letters in the right place. Can you remember why I've said that is so important? That's right, because if you don't form your letters properly and start in the right place, when you get older and you have to do joined up writing or cursive writing, you won't be able to, because you won't be able to start in the right place to get those joins and those links together. So it's very, very, very important that you form your letters properly. No being lazy. No being lazy, thinking, but it's easier to do it this way. Doesn't matter if it's easier to do it that way. It won't help you when you get older. So really, really important. Can't stress that enough. So when I do my A, I start at the top and I go down and I take my pencil off. Then I go back to where I was and I go down again and I take my pencil off. And then I put a line through it. Okay, and do another one. So where am I going to start? That's right, at the top. So I start at the top, down, take my pencil off. Start at the top, down, take my pencil off, and then a line through there. You can see how many you can do, can't you? Now this one, the lowercase letter A makes the sound A. We're going to start here. So I'm still on the top and it's half the size. In fact, if I draw one here, you can see it's half the size. So if I start here, I go round like I'm going to do a circle or a curly cut and I stop. And then I go up, down on the same line and I give it a little tail. Okay? But you can see that it's not as tall as the capital letter. It's a short letter. Okay, it's a short letter. So start at the top. I go round like I'm going to do a curly cut and I stop. I go up. I go down on the same line and I give it a little curl or a little tail. Start at the top. Round like a curly cut. Up. Down. Tail. We'll do one more. Say it with me. Curly cut. Forgot to say start at the top, didn't we? Very important. Start at the top. Let's do it again. Start at the top. Curly cut. Up, down, and a tail. And did you notice I did not take my pencil off at all? So I didn't do this and put a tail on, because actually that's not an A. That turns into something completely different. And I didn't do this because that doesn't look like an A. So very, very important that I start at the top. I keep my pencil on the paper at all times. I don't take it off. I go round like a curly cut, up, down, and a tail. Okay? I bet you could have a go at doing that for me, couldn't you? I know lots of you have got an A in your name, so it'd be really good if we could form it perfectly, wouldn't it? So you could have a go at that. Now, A starts with the sound A. A for ant. And then I thought of A for apple. A for anchor. That's what stops the boats from moving. They have to lower their anchor. What other things could you think of that start with the sound A? A for axe. So I'm going to draw. So here's the handle of my axe. There's an axe. What else can you think of that starts with the letter sound A? A. Ooh, have a think about that. You might be able to find some pictures in magazines to cut out and stick on a piece of paper that shows me the A sounds that you found. Okay? And then, do you think you could think of things that rhyme with ant? ant, ant. Plant. I'm going to draw a plant. There's my plant pot. And there's all the leaves coming out of my plant. Ant, plant. What can you find that rhymes with ant? Now there's a great story. So if you've listened to the stories already or read the stories already, you'll know that some of those stories have got rhyming words in them. Go back and listen to them again and see if you can find the rhyming words. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye.